question? Yes?
Question. Leen's product specifically, so it all, cultivates here at the 707, and then you'll, have this idea and make it available to people. As somebody that would be interested in it, because I'm working facilities and that's something that I think I would purchase, how does that handoff happen then between, having it here in its inception at Marquette, and then going out to the market?
Yeah, so thank you for asking the question, and thank you for being interested in the product as well. We're hoping to create the product here on campus, however, the rights and such are all for Jack and I, and so we have the patent attorney working on getting the patent approved for our prototype, and then we're creating a website as well as working with different shipping companies around. We're going to start in Milwaukee, and then if hopefully when it grows, also have international and national shipping. We're going to have a website for people to purchase it wherever they are, and then hopefully ship it out to them. And so we're going to create the product here on campus and then slowly build the product with manufacturing companies that hopefully give us a good price.
Nice.
Awesome.
Good price is important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a question about their projects? Student made Marquette, anything? Euler?
How have you grown as a result of your experiences?
I feel like I was thrown into the deep end a little bit in the best way possible, and I said yes and took the leap of faith, and I think that was the biggest growth for me, is just figuring out what dorm fund is, figuring out business model canvas, all that stuff, and it really has done a lot for me. So just saying yes, and I said yes to a lot of things at the 707 Hub, and it's always paid off, so that's my growth.
Yeah, I'll have to second that, and also add that I think going from the type A planning and then getting thrown into innovation, and it doesn't work that way to have a straight up plan, because there are things that you literally don't know and things that go behind schedule all the time. And so I think that it taught me to be take a breath and to just it's okay to take a break for a second from what you're doing, and you don't have to be on 24/7. I think that was really a big takeaway for me.
Sure.
That's great.
Any other questions? We should have put plants. There we go.
Yes.
Both of you guys, if you were to pick one person in your life who I guess is your main inspiration for whether it be your business ideas in general, or just how you carry yourself, who would you pick?
One person for inspiration. I think she's angling for you to say her.
Well, she's sitting next to my mom, too.
Yeah, that's it. She's angling. I see where it's going. Yes.
It's either my mom or my dad, but in the context of the 707 Hub and entrepreneurship, I'd say my dad. A lot of things were thrown at him in his business, and he always said yes to new opportunities, and that really paid off. So if anything, I would love to be like him in my career and life, and he's a great example for me, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would also say my dad. He currently works as a doctor, but he also does random side jobs all the time, which my mom was take a break.
Yeah.
But I think that really is what inspired me as well, to just take a chance, like you said, and it's worth it in the end, no matter how tiring it seems. But when you see the people that you're helping, it really pays off. Especially when people would call my dad and be thank you for this or that, and so I think that really inspired me, that no matter how tired I am, at the end of the day, it's important work.
For sure.
He may be a good interview. I'm just saying.
I mean,
your dad's got a
we
couple
could.
things going on.
Yeah. Jim, do you have a person that inspired you to do what you do? Put him on the spot.
Yes, I do. So that's a good question. So I would say when I was 16 years old, I was on a leadership seminar I was from Chicago for high school sophomores in Chicago. One person got nominated, and you go. It's a 3-day seminar that's very intense, speakers, and it gets emotional. You're really challenged in a way. And the first speaker that came out, his name was Art Jackson, and was awesome. It really kind of taught me how to but first of all, showed me how I wanted to speak. I didn't even know if I wanted to at that time, but I was like, that's what I want to do. And he was really being himself, and he was just so energetic, and I like loved every minute of it. And then we became friends, and then he mentored me to be a speaker, 15 years later. And so I model so much of what he's done and kind of his style. And we're two very different people, and it's really cool. Some of what we were referring to, just kind of like really being inclusive on campus, like, we come from very different backgrounds, and we're totally like opposite, and we work so well together, and I respect him, and same, here, it's a really, it's a unique relationship, and one where I would not be speaking if it weren't for him, without question. So,
For sure.
That's a big one, and I know he listens to this show, so shout out to you, Art, because didn't see that one coming, did you? But yeah, it's great. I think you need to reflect back on that, to like have gratitude for those folks that probably don't even realize the impact that they've had on you.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
same question to you.
One person, I don't have a person that inspired me to write about music. That was kind of self-propelled, but to launch a business and to start my own I run a content website, a music website, where we write about artists. And I think the person that kind of motivated me most to launch a business was actually my first boss. In college, I worked out in Racine at a fireworks stand. So we had a lot of downtime in the months that were not June and July, right? And I would come on and still work some seasonal hours. New Year's, apparently people buy fireworks, not a lot. It did not really justify me to be there for 8 hours, but whatever. So we had a lot of downtime in the office, and we would talk about, my boss Ken and I would talk about all sorts of things, like, we'd come up with an idea for something, and we'd be like, that would be great if we could turn that into a business. Or, we came up with literally like everything from like food truck ideas to like YouTube channels were first getting big. So we were like, what if we did a YouTube channel where we did this, or what if we did that? And his wife actually was a wedding photographer, so she launched her own business. So I got to kind of see that that grow with them, and so that was probably my motivation to actually like start a business, was to be like, oh, you can kind of make your own path and do your own sort of thing. And it's really feasible. You don't need to do it with a ton of startup money or a ton of whatever. If you can come up with the right idea and the right plan and think about it for a little bit, like that, I think was what motivated me to kind of be like, yeah, I can write about music that's happening in Milwaukee, and we'll sell ads, and I'll follow the competition and see how they make money, and then figure that out too from there. So probably him. So, more questions? Anyone? Everybody's staring at the pizza right now.
I know. We see you. Well, Ann and Leen, thank you for joining us today, and it was a real pleasure to hear your stories and just how impacted you've been by this space and the community that you have here. And we're excited that you're all here too to be part of this. We have round 4 coming up most likely in January, so stay tuned on that, and potentially more to come afterwards. But it's been great, and yeah, I think I'll just kind of end it with that of thank you all, and we'll turn our mics off and have a slice of pizza and go on with the rest of our day. So applause.
Thank you guys.